What is going on, guys? Axel here, and today I'm bringing you the 2026 One Piece Ambition How to Play Guide. I'm going to show you how to do literally everything in this game, and hopefully, unlike the 2025 version, it will not take a full hour to show you this. Let's just get straight into it, and as usual, we will go from top to bottom. My mouse is red. Sorry, I don't have a circle to show y'all what I'm clicking on, but we'll start top left, top right, middle, top bottom left, bottom right. We'll just go through it like that. So first things first, you can click on the character icon up here and it'll take you to your profile. There's a few things you can see here. You can see your name, what guild you're in, what your PvP rank is, your level. So I'm level 106. Your XP, so 527,000 or maybe 5 million out of 5.7 million. Your bounty. So it kind of shows you what you can do if you press the arrow, what you can do to upgrade your bounty. So plenty of things here. And if you want to see what each one is, just click on it. Right now, the green means recommended. So it's telling me to upgrade my ship more, which we'll talk about later. But there's that. Next is your PvP rank, or just your PvP characters that you're using and your rank. So I'm like in the 4th silver ranking right now, and I'm using Yamato, Robin, and Blackbeard. Here's your characters right here, so you can just scroll through all the characters if you want. I have 94 of 95. It also shows you if you're playing PvP a lot, like your ranked characters too. So I have 5 like basic ones, 1 silver, 3 platinum, and then 3, I don't know what you call this, but I'm just gonna call this like the highest rank is what I'm gonna call it. And just some information about that, like what it's providing you. So it's providing you, some extra stats in attack, defense, health, so on and so forth. Right here is going to just be your collectibles mostly. So you have frames, titles, emojis, fragments, in-game loading screens and all that kind of stuff, and costumes and more. So you can click on the question mark right here. It shows you all the frames I have, shows you all the titles I currently have, shows you the emojis I have, shows you all the fragments I have, so that will take a little while to get through. Shows you all the ship loading screens I have here. Shows you all the costumes I have. Shows you all the banners I have, and it shows you some more loading screens and more banners like that. These are the PvP banners. Next are the shells, which you can use in combat for PvE and PvP here. So, this is a great way to increase bounty, but you need to get these pretty high up, so it'll take you a little while to actually get some good bounty off this, but some people live by this. I don't really personally care for it too much, but, we'll talk about that later. This is the new hockey system here. They've added the 3 types of hockey, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but there's not a lot of ways to really earn, power-ups for this, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Next is collectibles. So you can see every collectible that you have collected in the game, which you can get from the story mode, just, the sea exploration, just doing things around the game. You'll find these. There are a couple that you have to spend money to get on, unfortunately. And this also applies towards your purple books, which I will talk about in the video later on. Next is your ship levels. So you level up a ship throughout the game by using meat, and as you can see, I'm at 3,283 out of 9,500. This will take me probably another year to even get close to that number, so looking forward to that. Not really. Next is ships right here. Like, these are not the ones that you like level up with meat, but these are the ones you can use in naval battles and all that. I only have 17 of 24 because the ones that I'm missing, I'm pretty sure, are just mostly, you have to buy them, and I don't want to spend $50 on a virtual ship. Not my cup of tea, but to each their own, and it is one of the best ways to level up your bounty if you are a whale. Next is the foods. Sanji's cooking. This is one of the best ways to level up your bounty. You can see all the foods you have here, and you can collect. These are all the fish you get from the sea exploration when you're doing the fishing. These give bounty. I don't think they used to, but now they give bounty. And, just trying to finish all these foods. That is the kind of like the dream, the goal, so you can save more money. Next is fragments here. This keeps updating every few months or whatever. but you want to get these as high as you can because they will increase your bounty. So I was at 108 on the first set, 109 on the second set, and the third set had just came out recently for my server, and I'm at 45 right now. Great way to get bounty if you spend the gold on it. Next is your gear sets. You can't even really get this until like level 40 or 50, I believe, but your goal with this is just to keep collecting gear to increase your bounty, and getting the dice for it does take a while. Next is Way of the Strong tokens here. This probably won't make a lot of sense by just looking at it, but essentially you give them to characters and that increases your bounty, and we'll explain that a bit more in a bit. You can share your profile here. If you look to the left side of the PvP area right here, you can share it to your group, guild, Discord, whatever you want to. You can swap who your character is on the screen right here by clicking on that button and just picking whoever you want to. But then they'll pop up right here. If you click on under the title and beside your name, you have a few options here. We'll just quickly go through them. The top is where you can change your name. You need to buy a little token for this, which costs 60 diamonds. So ideally pick your perfect name, right? Second goes through all these settings. So you have profile pictures here. You have frames. You have your banner for your profile. It kind of shows you right there, you know. This is for PvP. This is like your loading screen while going into PvP. These are banners. I don't know if you have to actually use the character of the choice to actually use these. I haven't actually set one up. Maybe I should. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick one. I'll pick the Kuma one. But like you have Mihawk, Ace, Ivankov, Boa, Kizaru, so on and so forth. Garp. You have titles here. A lot of them are limited time. As you can see, I have 259 days on the snake one, 13 days on this one, so on and so forth. I always just pick one that will always stick around to deal with that. Emotes, it shows you which ones you're missing. I'm missing 3 right now. And then you can kind of just see like the previews, like if you buy fragments and all that, you can watch them here and all that. Pretty cool stuff. Further down is you can pick your ship area right here, so you can see what you're looking at when you come into the game. You can see your skins here. I'm missing a couple. I'm missing Zoro, missing Frankie, Sanji, and Lucci. So these are costumes you can use in-game, PvP, PvE, anywhere you want to. And then next is a banner, which you only really get these for spending like a lot of money. Like the Boa one was $100, so I'm not going to use it. But if I did have it, then it would literally be right here and you could see it. Last thing here, the collection area right here. To level this up and to keep going on through this, you have to just be buying fragments and collectibles and all that, and you don't have to spend money on it, unfortunately, so it will take a little bit to get to that, to get that higher up. And I think that's pretty much it here. Yeah, we're pretty much good here. Next is the bag. I'm not going to click on it because it takes you to another website, but essentially it's just like Wii game related or WeChat related among that. The little square here just gives you a few things. There's support, QQ, VIP, even though this game does not have a VIP system. And then the crown here, which is WeChat related. I wouldn't worry about it. Gold. So if you just click on the berries right here, it gives you a list of things you can do to get more berries. But alternatively, if you're a whale and you just want more, you can spend diamonds, which is pay to win, to get yourself more berries. 1 diamond is 1 berry. I think that's kind of robbery in my opinion because diamonds are so much more valuable. So I would never spend my diamonds on berries. But, you know, there are people out there that do that. To the right is your friends list here. So these are the people that have added me and I've added back. You can see on the very top right up here, you can have 40 of 200 friends. These are friends that I have on WeChat. So there's that. This is nothing. This is if someone has added you, I believe. These are recommended addings. So if you want to add any of these people, you can. But like when I see that these people are not in a clan, I don't want to touch it. I don't even really avoid them. I almost never come here. And then nothing right there. To the right of the friend is the trophy right here. And this is just your leaderboard, essentially. You won't have this on a new server, but it goes by server. It goes by regional. And then it goes by the top players of all time. But quickly running through this, I only remember a few of them, but we'll try our best here. So the very first tab here is just the highest bounty. The second one is your highest level. So, you know, to get higher levels in gear, you have to hit check marks. So you get new gear at level 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, so on. This right here is your characters. How many characters do you have? So there are 3 players in the server that have all 95 characters currently available. This is your PvP rank. So if you're playing ranked PvP, it'll show you this. This is what level you are in PvP, like leveling up the system, which I'll talk about in a little bit. This goes up to, you get rewards up to 180, 185, but it goes way beyond 200, but we'll talk about that later. This is guild activity, like who's doing the best in like a guild event, essentially. I can't think of which one, but it is one of them. The highest ranked guilds. So as you can see here, our server's pretty dead, which kind of sucks, but it's okay because supposedly Grandpa Chicken, the great Grandpa Chicken, says that servers will be merging in the summer, which I've been hearing about for the past few months, so I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, your goal is to always try to get in the highest level guild you can be in, so try your best to do that. This is collectibles, so if you are someone that wants to do all the collectibles, you will have to spend money, unfortunately, and you will have to do a lot of things to get here. But this is like what I try to aim for. I don't try to be the top bounty player, I just try to be the top collectible, so that's what I do. And this is just your costume area right here, which we talked about. You can click on it if you want to, but it takes you back to what I was telling you earlier. You need to collect fragments and all that kind of stuff, costumes, so on and so forth. Next is your settings. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, okay? It's not going to happen, unfortunately, but I can tell you a few of them. The top one is resolution setting. This one right here is image quality. This one right here is your battle, like when you're doing PvP and all that kind of stuff, your frame rate for that. This is your frame rate just for the game in general, excluding battles. This is your anti-aliasing, so if you have a good phone or you're using a good computer, always try to go as high as you can. This is hiding teammate effects. I don't really even know what that's for, honestly. Special effect quality, material quality, sound quality, and it just kind of goes on and on. You can just like translate it if you want to. I don't know all of them, but you really don't need to change anything in here. This area right here is your sound area. If you want to, you can just mute everything by clicking that. That's the easy way to do it. Or if you want to, you can just drag these sliders up and kind of adjust it your own way. And then there's a few things here, not super duper important here, but this is red dot intensity. I don't even know what that really means entirely. This middle one is login animation, so you can have the default login where they're following from Skypea, or if there's a limited time little loading screen, you can use that by having check mark on the second one. This third one is actually your speed dial for summons. So at a certain point in the game, it gets rid of the dial thing where you kind of pick the number for summoning and all that, and you just get insta summons. If you want to have that on, press the white button here, but if you want to have it off, press the gray button and flip them around so you can just instantly summon. This is a bunch of stuff I don't mess with, but it's more UI based related, I'm pretty sure. This is if you want to use a controller and all that on PC, and just keybinds. So you can, if you're using a keyboard instead of a controller, you can kind of set this up. I don't know how to set up a controller for this, so don't ask me, please. Just letting you know you can use Wi-Fi to download stuff, and here's the packages. You should get a reward every time you download these. But if you've downloaded the game, you've already done this pretty much, so you don't have to worry about it. And then, I don't know what much of this stuff is, but the important thing here is you can, well, if you care, you can change your gender, right? Here's just some miscellaneous information. And then right here, this button right here with a gift, you can put in codes to get rewards. There's not a lot of codes typically given out, I feel like. They're not talked about a lot, so there's that. And then on the very far right, you have the Wi-Fi symbol and the battery. I'm on a computer right now, so I have 100% battery, obviously, and then I'm about at 150 ms just in-game. So this does not count for PvP. This is just in-game, so how fast the game will react to what I'm clicking on right now. Now we're going to start in the middle section on the left side here. So we have a Yamato event here, and this is just kind of coincidentally here while I'm recording this. But this is just an event. So you get rewards here. I'll just click on something real quick and show you. Here's rewards. So you get berries, purple books, fragments, so on and so forth. In the other event, you can get more berries and you can get a profile picture right here. So that's pretty cool. But all you need to really know about this is that it's an event. You will play it, and you'll see this occasionally with other characters. So you'll eventually see one probably with Ace. You'll probably see one with just any big character in the future. So just be ready for that. Next on the box here, this is your daily missions. And right now we're pretty much getting through the end of the 1-year anniversary. So if you're going to start playing today, you can still get a decent amount of rewards, but you're going to have to hustle pretty hard here. You're pretty much too late if you're starting anytime other than today to collect everything, but you can still get a lot of it. So just going through this real quick, for the 1-year anniversary, you got 1,280 berries for logging in. If you logged in every day, you can collect these rewards here every 3 days. So we're pretty much done here with this. If you start today, by the way, if you start today, you will not get all of this. But if you do, I would recommend getting the banner, the collectible, and the title. I would not care about the profile picture, and I would not care about the emoji. That will give you nothing in return, pretty much. Next was a ship event where you can get the Sunny for just participating and playing the game every day. So we got the Sunny and a collectible. It doesn't show for me, but if you press around the one area, click a few times, you'll get a collectible item. This is more of a just daily login and making sure you're doing all your challenges and all that kind of stuff. So if you got to 2,000, you got Chopper, NS Lobby Chopper. I haven't played with him yet, but he only costs 50 cash, which, I mean, if you look at 50 million, it was not an issue at all. This right here is just a throwback through the whole game, so you can see all the cutscenes of the game. So you're going from, I can't even think of Arlong Park to Alabasta, fighting Arlong, Alabasta, Skypiea, and then fighting Lucci, and so on and so forth. If you did all this, you get the Nami profile picture right here that's not showing. But you also get these little blue book things, which they're about to go away. You can't really earn them anymore, but I'll show you in a bit what they're used for. This just came out today for New Year's. You can get 1,000 free meat from this, and it just kind of gives you like a little backlog of showing you what you've done. Obviously, you're probably not going to be able to read it if you don't know Chinese, but it tells you about server, how much bounty you've earned in the year, your favorite characters, your most used characters, your PvP rank, so on and so forth. I don't really want to go too in-depth with all these events because I'll save that for another video because they always are changing. But in short, you can finish all your missions really fast by clicking on the yellow button up here. This is your daily login. This is for spending money, which this event is not worth it, so do not spend money on this. This is for using fragments, so if you use 100 fragments, you can get to the very end of this. This is an event that has not came out yet. This is a ship event where you, I'm pretty sure it's just PvP, right? Yeah, so you are fighting other ships. Most of the time it's real players, but if you don't play for a couple days, you'll get some bots, which is how I typically do it. They brought back this event where you can play as the characters on the side here. So you can play as a Marine, you can play as another Marine and another Marine, but they just recently added if you have Super Captain, you can just skip right through it, so you don't even have to play it. To me, this is one of the more boring events because it's just so time consuming, but I mean, now if you have Super Captain, it's not an issue. This is a event letting you know there's a guild event right now. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but you want to do your guild events because contributing towards your guild is always a good thing. This is a little Super Captain thing here. It gives you 7 days of free Super Captain, which now is the best time to use it for this event, actually. So if you've already used it, you're kind of out of luck, but you can use that, and then you get 50% off your Super Captain purchase. So typically it's 31, but now you can get it for 15 just for your first purchase. Lastly here is if you have a Chinese phone number, you can verify it for 100 berries. I don't have a Chinese number, so this will just sit here forever. But if you do use it, it'll go away and you'll never get this tab, so you'll be good. Below that is your daily missions, like not like the missions that you actually do, but you get like, so every day this resets at 4 p.m. Eastern time, East Coast, USA essentially is what I'm saying. It tells you on the right how to complete missions. So log in, you can kind of tell by the picture, log in, like someone's profile, PvP, doing sea exploration, mirror world, so on and so forth. You have plenty of options here. But if you click on each one, it shows you what you get. So for logging in every day, you get 30 berries. For hitting the 40 mark, 30 berries. 40 berries for the 70, and then for 100 you get 2 of these like summoning fragments here. This is for basic summons, so nothing too crazy here, but this is a big way you get XP. And then the treasure resets once a week, so anytime you hit a milestone, 150, 300, 450, you will get berries and a potential chance of a red fragment character, but most of the time it's gold, let's be honest, gold or blue. Down here in the middle section, you just have achievements. So you're going to have to translate most of these to actually get something out of it. But there's plenty of stuff here. Berries, collectibles. This is right here is for logging in 365 days. So you're about to get 36 fragments if you've been playing since the 1-year anniversary. There's titles, so on and so forth. But these are always, like, it shows you the ones you've already completed, but it'll just keep going on and on and on. This is more for like the lobby, which we'll talk about in a bit. So mirror world, and it kind of just shows you, kind of gives you a hint what all this is. So you will get this eventually, but within time. This, I'm not too sure. I think it's more fragments and sea exploration and all that kind of stuff. Not too sure about that, but yeah, just more stuff to collect. You'll have to translate every single one. And then more stuff. So if you get 100 characters, you get this title right here. Looking forward to that whenever I get it. And yeah. Next is just if you complete parts of the story mode, then you're going to get snails. So it's letting you know if you beat Chapter 4, Section 3, 20 snails. Chapter 5, Section 6, 20 snails, so on and so forth, and it'll just keep going on and on and on. And the last one at the moment is when you fight Lucci, so keep that in mind. Lastly, on the very bottom left here is this huge ass picture of meat. You get 100 extra meat every day for just logging in. If you have Super Captain, it becomes 200, so yeah, there's that. Next, below that is the Battle Pass. Right now, we're in the Yamato Battle Pass. This just came out yesterday. Very, very well-friendly. So if you buy the Battle Pass, you want to typically get the deluxe version if you can. If you can't, you can still get Yamato normally. But it's 198 yen for the deluxe, and then I think 28, something like that, 28 yen for the normal one. I forget the number. But so then it provides you options here. You can buy 1 level for the Battle Pass for 100 diamonds, 10 levels for 1,000, 100 for 10,000. It's not really worth it to be doing any of this stuff. Like, it's a waste of money, but I do typically, because like it'll show you when you first buy it. So like when you buy the deluxe version, you're at like 100, right? So it'll give you an 80 offer for like 1,000 diamonds or something like that. To me, that's worth it. But at this point, it's not worth it. But this is a Battle Pass. You get plenty of stuff here. You get your character from the Battle Pass. You get a frame. You get a bunch of other good stuff. These are your weekly missions. So you can see up here on the top right, underneath the berries, you can do 12,000 of 12,000 a week at right now. So, yeah, and you just have to kind of click on it to show you what you have to do. Sometimes it's PvP. Sometimes it's auto PvP, so on and so forth. And it updates every, like, it looks like 2 weeks. So it says this lasts from the 1st to the 11th. So I will not be able to level this up for a while. Next is your Battle Pass shop. These are just tabs which show you the same thing that you're always getting. This is the far right tab is your collectibles mostly. So you get frames, you get your loading screens and all that kind of stuff. Ideally, you've been doing this since the very beginning, so you are caught up, but if you're not, then you have a lot of stuff to buy if you're into collectibles. These are fragments for your shells, shell fragments, sorry. You can buy these. I don't think they're worth it in my opinion, but you can do that if you want to. Character, what do you call these? Well, down here's the fragments and the ships, but here is just more pieces of the character. So if you want to get them beyond 2 or 3 stars, you can do that. So these are all the Battle Pass characters. It started off with Kuma, then Moria, then Ivankov, and then now Yamato. Down here is, of course, the leaderboard. So if you can see who spent the most money on this. So apparently someone from server 1 has bought 4,000 levels of this, which is thousands of dollars. Not worth it, but you know, whatever makes these people happy and makes the game keep going, right? It's about it to really show here. So yeah, it shows you everything you can get here. Normal version, deluxe version, if you spend more money, and so on and so forth. And then lastly, you can share for like 20 gold typically. So if you send that to your guild, you have WeChat and then your memories, and then you can just download it. So there's that. And that's about it here. You can watch here the video for the Battle Pass if you want, right beside the Season 4 on the very top. So it shows you what the Battle Pass looks like here. So yeah, there's that. Next is another Battle Pass, but it's for support characters. This is typically not worth the money, but if you want to collect every character in the game, you do have to buy it, unfortunately. You will max this out by just playing every day, and over time you will max everything out here. But in short, today's character, this Battle Pass's character was Sydney, I believe is her name, from Fiddler Bark. You get a frame from this, and that's literally it. So this is not even this is not a permanent one. This is just for 60 days you get this frame. And then that's about it. Nothing too crazy here. And there's a shop, so you get these little gold tokens. You'll get probably about like 25, 50 of them. In my opinion, the only thing that's worth buying is the meat. Don't buy anything else. Cash is not worth it. This is not worth it. And leveling up these characters will take too long. So as you can see, to get one of these support characters from the 2-star to 3-star is 200 of these, and it will take you months, many months to get this to where you need to just get them to 3 stars. So unless they provide another way to actually do this, it'll take you a long time to actually level these characters up. Next is like this little announcement thing here. Anytime it shows something new, you can click on the announcement and it'll just take you to it. So if you see a timer or something like that, just click on it to see what it is if you don't know. But typically, the more you play this game, you'll know. So right here it says 12:30, 8:30. I'll click on the announcement, and what it's letting me know is that the Sea Naval Battle is coming up in 12.5 hours. So this is a very big event for guilds. If you want to be in the top guild, you're going to have to play these events or you'll get kicked out probably. Unless your guild is dead, unless your server's dead. But these events are very important. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Next is the mail. So the mail symbol, this is where you get mail from the game and all that kind of stuff. I'll talk about this right here actually. Right beside the mail is the chat button. So you have a few things you can do here. You can talk with the server right here. You can talk with the guild right here. You can talk with your regionals. So like I'm on server 111. I think we're 109, 110, 111, and 112. So if you want to talk to just people throughout all that kind of stuff, you can. These are private messages here. So I can't answer any of these dudes. I don't know Chinese. But you have that, and then you have message requests down here. So like, you know, you can talk to people if you want to. And then just, this is your actual mailbox right here. Bottom left. So we have a few things to talk about here. We'll try to get through it as fast as we can because we're already hitting close to the 30-minute mark. So you click on the 3 lines here and you have a lot of stuff that pops up. Let's just try to get this done as fast as possible. First is your shell fragments and your hockey system. So this is where you level up your shells. It tells you how much cash you need and how much of each fragment you need. And then it shows you on the far right over here above the shell picture what it actually does for each one. So you can do that, click that, click this. Well, this one don't have one. This, so on and so forth. Next is your support characters. So you get support characters by 2-starring any character, or you can get these little gold and red tickets. So gold ticket, red ticket. Red tickets you typically get from the battle pass only, and then the gold ones you used to get once a month from logging in, but they kind of got rid of it. But I'll show you how to use a gold one real quick. Is click on the heart down here, and you pick any of the characters that are just down here on the bottom. So I'm going to pick Brooks in this case, and the reason why you want to use these specifically is because sometimes to get characters 2-starred and 3-starred, you have to spend a lot of gold, and the gold sucks spending. So yeah, typically you can do it this way alternatively. And I'll show you in a little bit what I mean by that. So I just got Brooks, the support character, without having to get him 2-star. Down here is the hockey system. So you have your 3 types of hockey. Can't name them for you, honestly. There's observation hockey. It's about all I know. But you have the red one, the purple, and the blue one. So you level this up by getting these fragments. And right now there's only one way to get it. I'll show you how to do that later. But you level these up, you can use these in PvP, so on and so forth. And the bounty you get from this is okay. It's not amazing right now, but I imagine later on in the game it will become very, very valuable. It is yet to be seen right now, so right now this is not a priority to me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens later on. On the right side, beside that, is your collectibles. So you can just kind of click through here and see all your collectibles. Here's my flags. Here's my snails, so on and so forth. And on the very bottom right down here is... You can't click on that, okay. On the bottom right, it shows you the collectibles you're missing, but more importantly, your purple books down here. So as you can see, this increases your bounty a lot. Typically it's 16k every time you do 20 levels. And yeah, as you can see, I've done it 644 times, so you can do the math. 644 times 16,000, and that's how much bounty I've gotten off of this. So there's a lot there. Next, beside that, under it actually, is your boat that you level up with spending meat. It costs berries to get extra meat, and it will recommend it to you to do this, but there's not really a lot of bounty value out of this. The only reason why you would level up and spend this much gold and berries on meat is if you want to level faster in the game. So if you're trying to get from level 50 to level 60, it might take you 3 weeks. But if you buy more meat, then it might take you 2 weeks or 1 week, depending on how fast it is to level up. From level 1, essentially, to level 80, I used to buy 9 meats every day. I was very strict with that, but I was struggling with having berries to summon characters and all that, so I had to spend money to summon characters. Around level 90 to 100, I dropped down to 6, and then from 100 to like 105, I was going down to 3, but I'm getting caught up in levels, so now I'm going pretty strong on this, 9 to 12 every single time until I'm in front of the second place player, pretty much. But as you can see here, this is the 3rd stage, so this is the 2nd stage. You have to get everything to 150. The 1st stage where you get everything to 50. It's pretty cool, but yeah, just keep doing your thing. This will take you a long time to get past the 3rd level, just a heads up. Below that is your fragments. So there's a few things to show you here. In short, though, you want to just allow these stars on the very bottom right here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, and then let's see, I think for blue it's different, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Every time you hit these milestones, you get a lot of extra bounty. You get this from Mirror World, and you get this from just buying them right here. I don't know how it is on new servers, but I'm hoping that y'all are on the same one as I am, and if not, you'll be on the Nami one probably. But typically, you just want to keep buying them. It used to be that you would buy 10 every week, and that'd be 500, which I'm at 1,000 because I already bought the maximum amount for the cheap price. But it should be 50 each for 1 fragment up to 20, and then it goes up to 100. But it used to be you buy 10 a week, maybe 20 if you can spare it. But yeah, you can go really, really high with it though. You can get up to 100. I wouldn't recommend it. Terrible investment in gold, but there's that. So yeah, you just want to level this up. It's a great way to get your bounty up. The higher these are, the more bounty you'll get from it. Next is on the left side of that, your ship that you level up with cash and your little tokens here. This takes a long time to do, and you will struggle to get this all the way up, because like this ship goes up to 300, then the next one's up to 300, and then so on and so forth. They just recently added this one, so this is another one we'll have to get, which will take probably another year to even get to that, honestly. And then some pay-to-win ships. This is a $20 ship or something. This is a $50 ship. That was a $20 ship, $50 ship. I don't want to spend money on ships because they don't really provide any value in the game right now, other than the naval battle, which is once every like 2 or 3 months. But as you can see here, I have a level 204 ship, and it's costing almost 500k per level. That kind of adds up if you think about it. If I was to hold this button down for like 5 seconds, I'd be poor. So I try to always keep a minimum of 50 million. But it doesn't really become an issue until you get to this ship. The one before this is, I'm pretty sure, this one right here. I think. I hope it's that one. Or maybe it's this one. I don't know. I think it's this one. But it starts getting expensive around this boat, and you still have all these other boats you have to level up. I meant to show you too, sorry. If you go back to this area here, there's a few things you can do. So say you're curious about one of the boats, right? Right beside it on the bottom left of the sword here, you can actually see the abilities you can use with the ship. You can press the little boxing glove to actually use it. So let's go ahead and use it real quick. So you can just press buttons here, see what happens. So you can teleport if you want to. You can attack normally, which it looks ridiculously busted, right? And then you can do this right here and do that. You can kind of move it around, and it does a lot of damage. So this ship I'm using right now is the best ship in the game, but it costs $50. Is it worth it? Probably not. But you know, do what you got to do, right? It gives you a lot of bounty, I'll say that. And then lastly, you can press the I button to kind of just look at it, zoom in on it, that kind of stuff. And there's that. Next, let's go back here. This right here is your gear. So I can just show you real quick. On the very top here, this is the number 9. To get to the next set of gear 10, I have to meet this threshold here, which will take me probably a couple more weeks. But this is all the sets of gear starting at like level, I don't know, it says 28 apparently, 38, 48. I don't even think you can really use gear that much until you hit level 50 pretty much. That's when it starts getting serious. So there's that. You can press this button on the top to show you where you get the gear at. So you do raids, you have to have the blue tickets, which they reset every day. When you run out of blue tickets, you can't do it no more. Not for gear anyways. The middle button, the recycle button, is if you have any better gear, it'll automatically replace it for you. And then the recycle one, I'm at the point in the game where I don't need anything, so I recycle everything. And you get, as you see on the bottom, some dice out of it. So yeah, the first tab here shows you the gear you have. Second tab shows you can level it up. So let me show you real quick. I have a 60% chance to get to the next level. And I have 32 of these tokens, which will increase it to 100%, but I save it for typically the new sets of gear normally. So I did get the level 15, so now I'm good. And it costs 280 tokens or dice to continue leveling it up, and 90,000 cash. You can level up gear in your inventory by pressing this tab. I have none in my inventory, so there's that. Next is if you get duplicates here, you can put them into this by pressing the plus button, and then you can add them to increase the stars of the gear, in which you're going to get duplicates eventually. So yeah, there's that. You can see how much it costs in cash too. Pretty expensive, 600k. On the bottom left, on this third tab specifically, if you press this button, it'll give you like a little token here. So you can do it for like the level 7 gear, 8 gear, and 9 gear. But this gives you bounty, a lot of bounty. So it's really, really nice. So you get 1 token, and then like typically every time you get a duplicate, it's almost like around 120k every single time. So it gives you an incentive to keep playing the game in a sense, other than just quitting on the game, you know. Lastly is like leveling up the insides of the gear is essentially. You have to use tokens to level up the gear. So I have a 75% chance of leveling it up, and I need 25 tokens. I have 27. Let's do one. I failed. So now I have an 80% chance, and I'm sure I have more tokens somewhere. Let's see. So right here, let's try this one. Went through, I got 4,500, and to increase the level of the gear, you just have to get all these bars up to the very top, essentially. And then a newer addition to the game as well is the Way of the Strong. So you can increase certain red characters and gold characters' skills by increasing the level of them in Way of the Strong. We'll talk about this a little bit more in a little bit. But in short, you use these little tokens right here to keep leveling them up. And you can go up to level 120, but it's not worth it to go past level 60 right now. But it's typically just all your red characters. So you have Kuzan, Mihawk, Garp, Lucci, Kuma, Boa, and it goes on and on. You have some yellow characters, so second gear Luffy, Sanji, Frankie, so on and so forth. But what you do is you just put a token on the character, and you can pick which tokens are good. We'll explain this in a little bit right here. You just put on a token and level it up down here. That's all you have to do. And it tells you also right here too, like, so I don't level any characters past 60 or past 59 really, because it's a waste of gold for the most part, but it tells you if you want to translate it, what it gives you for doing that. It would also really help to have these characters beyond 2 stars too, so you can use the full effect, but yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money being spent. So here is what you're giving to the characters to increase, you know, numerous stats like health and defense and attack and all that. Let me take you down here, right? So here's a good example. I have this shield one on Boa, and it costs 60 tokens and 1.8 million in cash. It's a lot of cash, but the bounty increase will be really, really good if I do this. So let me show you. 23k. Not bad. And then I can keep going on and on with it. So I can do the heart as well. And then I can do this one as well. The shuriken is what I call it. And I just made like 65, 70k bounty off just leveling up those 3. So pretty good. Right here you can disassemble if you would like by just simply clicking, and it shows you what you get out of it. Typically, so these hammers are how much levels you can level them up. So it goes 5 gold, 5 red. So typically if you can't max out one of them, then I don't keep it. But yeah, so like all these I'm keeping because I can level these up to max. And yeah, this is an example of one that I did not level up to max. It was 4 red instead of 5 red, but I ran out of tokens, so I cannot really even use this anymore. Sucks, but it is what it is. And also it's for level 60, which I only have one character at 60, so I just kind of keep it just, you know, for no reason in particular. So that is all you need to really know about this area. Bottom left here is this book. So you get tokens and to level up. Typically it's 8,000 per level here, 8,000 bounty. So when I get to 1,700, it's an additional 8,000 to your bounty. Not a lot, so not anything too crazy. But the second tab here shows you that if you get these frames for characters, then you get a high bounty increase. And stars matter. So what I mean by that is that these completed ones, right? So this is the 2 giants from whatever island I can't remember the name of, but for every time you get both of their star levels up, it increases your bounty drastically. So I think you get close to 1 million bounty just for getting these 2 max leveled pretty much, and it applies to all of them. So you want to try to get as much stars as you can, but obviously if they're red characters, it'll be a lot more difficult. So, you know, there's that. Missing one right now, and it's just because of the PvP character that I haven't got yet. So we'll get that Sydney and whatever his name is. Next is the costume in the middle. We talked about this already. You can get this. You can find this in the character settings, but you can change your character profile picture, your frame, so on and so forth. bottom right is Sanji's cooking, one of the most important parts of the game. You just cook food. You can see your treasures here, so you can see, like, you know, the items you have to be able to cook. You can check your cookbook out, so you can see when you got some of these recipes and all that kind of stuff. And then if you press the fish, you can see all the fish you've collected in the game. You can see like their size, their weight, all that kind of stuff, and what they're providing you as a bonus. So this green one gives me 320 attack, so on and so forth. That's that. So next is the little straw hat down here. This is just all the characters. So you can scroll through all the characters if you want to collect them all. I'm missing one. I'm missing Law. I'm trying to work on it, but I'm not really spending a lot of money on it. You can always practice as any character by clicking on one and then pressing the punching button right here. That'll help you with that. But it kind of shows you everything here that you would ever need. So let's press this strength button right here too. I'll press the plus button, does nothing. Do that. So it kind of shows you their bonuses and all that. And then do that. So it says everything is good right now on this. But yeah, you can always try and practice out. It tells you how many fragments you need to level one up. So Bon Clay, right? I have 1-star Bon Clay. Mr. 2. I have 21 of 50 fragments. It'll take a while to max him out, but, you know, the idea is to max out all the characters at the end of the day, right? So Blackbeard, 2-star right now. On my way to 3 stars, I have 24 of 100 fragments. Next with Boa here, this picture changes all the time based off the character. But this is where you summon characters here. So just real quick on the top right, you need snails to buy characters. It's 150 berries per snail. You should be getting a lot of berries if you're not chasing bounty. But if you are chasing bounty, then you will be suffering a little bit. You can summon 1 time each, 10 times each, or if you press this circle right here, up to 50 times each. Pity is 150, so if you are just like wailing it out, you know, then you can just press 53 times, you already have it. But if you're desperate to save gold, I would obviously, of course, you know, buy 10 at a time. The control is just playing with the character to test them out. The plus button right here shows you a few things. 1, which characters are in the banner. 2, it's like a kind of like a catalog of summons. And 3 is your pity. So 150 is the max. It took me 150 for Mihawk, 150 for Lucci, and 150 for Kizaru. But then with Ace and Kuzan, it took about 130, 146 for Boa. And we're just waiting for the next character to summon right now. There's another banner. There's Law right now, which I might pull for. I don't know yet. This is your blue snail, same concept. So you get these characters right here, Crocodile, Garp, and Nell. And every time you get one, it'll cancel it out again. So if you get Garp but you wanted an L, then you have a 50% chance to get one or the other. For some new players, they will go straight into this banner instead of the one where you get the either Crocodile or Garp and they try to summon for Enel. But if you don't get Enel, then you're just kind of wasting time because yeah, then you just wasted your time and now you're probably going to get a duplicate. And same concept, it'll show you your pity here. So 148 for Crocodile, 150 for Enel. And then here is for just like your daily summons essentially. So if you do all your missions, you'll probably get about like 25, 30 of these every day. And it's just your basic characters, no red characters or yellow. It's just purple and blue characters. So there's that. Next is the shop here. This is a dangerous area if you are OL. Let's go through it. The very top left tab here, the very first one, is the new characters that are being released. So it's Brook right now. To get him 2 stars is an additional 980 berries. So I can do that or spend diamonds. Never spend diamonds on that. But to get his normal, like just level 1 version is 1980. You can buy ships here. So this is 328 yen, which is 50 USD. A lot of money just for, you know, a virtual ship. But do what you got to do, right? It gives you a lot of bounty at the end of the day. The second tab is just costumes. So they released a Boa Hancock costume. And it kind of tells you right here too. Like it's a purple one, so it didn't give his full amount of bounty as before. Right here is the anniversary shop, which goes away in 6 days. So, in short, I'm not going to explain everything, but if you had 6,400, you can get a duplicate piece of gear. This is just for leveling up your gear, 100% chances, some tokens for Way of the Strong, character fragments, so you can get any of these characters. Essentially, you get 50 fragments. So if you don't have any of them, it would at least give it to you 1 star. Normal fragments, tokens, cash, so on and so forth. And the ones that are locked are the ones that I bought, except for this one. I just got that with diamonds, so I got 1,000 berries, and I got all the meat and then all the red fragments. That's what I spent my money on. It's just additional miscellaneous stuff. So if you missed any frames, or if you missed any pictures or emojis or anything like that, you can buy them here. Collectibles, so on and so forth. Next tab is the rerun shop here. So if you missed a character that you really want, now is the best time to buy it. You can buy them all the way up to their max level if you want to. So as you can see, there's Robin, Perona, Shank, Kid Shanks, Khalifa, so on and so forth. And then there's their costume. So there's a Robin skin and a Khalifa skin. This is just random deals, which they're never good deals. So, example, if you spend $50, you can get some diamonds, some cash, and some crap like that. Not worth it. Don't waste your money, please. Do not spend your money on any of this stuff. This is the normal in-game shop here, so you can spend berries to get numerous items. You can get books, Way of the Strong material. You'll kind of just figure this out more the more you play, but you should never buy anything from here except for maybe the Way of the Strong stuff. But that's about it, really. Next is pay to win fragments here. So I don't recall how much purple and gold give, but the red ones give 45k bounty each, which is what you're typically wanting to buy from, the shop if you're spending money, because it'll increase your bounty. If you're spending real life money, increase your bounty. Don't just buy random useless stuff, is kind of how I'm going to go about it. Next is just like the ship area, which I still haven't shown y'all yet, but your loading screen, so you can buy all these to have a different loading screen. Next is like when you're loading into PvP, it'll give you these like loading screens right here, which you can look at if you want. They're not worth it in my opinion, like 20, 30k bounty or something like that. These are win and lose banners. So if you win or lose a match, it'll play these right here. These are like the highest ways to increase your bounty. 70 to 75k bounty each time you buy one. Extremely worth it. Let me go back to that. Keeps like going down. This resets every Thursday. You just don't spend any money on this, but you get these for free, essentially. So you get like some small little items and all that kind of stuff here. And then this is the permanent shop here. So if you want to, you can spend 3 red snails on a fragment of either Ace, Kizaru, or Mihawk. This is an easy way to level up characters to 5 stars, but you're still going to spend thousands of dollars, realistically, getting them to 5 stars. And just more permanent characters here, so Jabra, Second Gear Luffy, Enies Lobby, Nami, so on and so forth, and some other characters. This also has diamond ones, so the snake costs diamonds, and so on and so forth. Next is just a bunch of miscellaneous shops from playing the game. So in short, this is your PvP shop. I was a jackass and bought all the collectibles first, so they don't recommend that for bounty chasing. But if you're kind of not caring about bounty, then whatever. But if you do care about bounty, then buy these shell fragments here, and maybe get like your purple characters to 5 stars, because it'll add up. Next is the auto PvP shop, which we haven't even really gotten into yet. But what I typically buy from here is the purple books, and that's really it. Collectibles I did first because I was a collectible hunter. Next is the guild shop. So good stuff here for bounty is the meat, the purple books, the sea exploration tokens, and the recipe right here. The collectibles or whatever again. There's a tab, so if you're doing the weekly events, the Blackbeard event, the sea naval battle, and all that kind of stuff, You can buy additional stuff here. There's a fragment for Blackbeard. This is how you get Blackbeard. You have to do the weekly events, so you have to be up really early in the morning if you're in the United States. But let me just go ahead and buy that real quick. Oops, meant to buy 10. So there's that. The crab and the chicken right here, it don't matter. Don't waste your money on that, and the cash ain't worth it either. So just buy, you know, what makes sense. This is the ranked PvP shop, so you can buy plenty of things here, titles, fragments, and so on and so forth, pictures and all that good stuff, frames. If you're trying to be a bounty collector or just get a high bounty, buy shells and buy combustion whenever you run out of it. That's about it. And then, you know, you can also buy characters too, but to get any bounty value out of it, you have to get them 5 stars, which will take a long time. Next is a duplicate shop. So this, you will not really be able to get to use this until after a year or so of playing the game every day. But in short, if you get duplicates, you can trade them in right here for some tokens. And these tokens go towards these items here. So, I mean, obviously the best thing will be shells and that kind of stuff, or maybe getting some blue characters higher. But I'm going for collectibles, so it'll take me probably like 3 years to even get one of these. So there's that. Ships right here. Really just buy whatever you want, but I just typically work on one ship at a time, so that's what I do. You will rarely get these tokens. I've only gotten 5 in a year, so do not expect to ever get them. But they're pretty good. Oops. Next is Super Captain here. So essentially for 30 yen a month, you can just make the game go fast for you. You don't have to do all the events that are annoying, or if something takes a long time, Super Captain has it covered. It is a good deal, but really the issue is that it's more just quality of life shit. So, like, you know, it's stuff that you would just kind of already expect to have in a game, but you have to pay for it. So it kind of sucks in that sense. This is the monthly pass, so every time you buy a monthly pass, you get 300 diamonds and a character fragment, and then you get, every time you log in daily, you get 100 berries, 50 meat, and then every once in a while you get a character fragment every 3 days. 30 yen again. And it shows you down here what you get. So a 1 month pass will get you 300 diamonds, 3,000 berries, 1 for every day, 1,500 meat, so on and so forth. This is a newer addition to the game. This typically resets every month normally, but this is for spending diamonds right here. So if you spend diamonds, you meet certain checkmark criterias. If you spend money, you can get a surprise item from here, but typically you just buy stuff from in here. I don't really know what's worth buying in here, so I just buy Way of the Strong tokens. You can get gear tokens as well and fragments and all that, but you can also get red character stuff for Mihawk, Ace, and Kuzan, but it's a slow and egregious process, so unless you're just constantly spending money, I don't really worry about this shop ever. Next is the guild tab here. This shows you, well, a lot of things. Your guild, who's online with the green button, who's offline. So someone's been offline for 8 minutes. Someone's been offline for 4 days. I typically sort by leadership role. So here's the leader, the assistant managers is what I would call them. Then just, you know, the highly ranked elders. And then there's the normal people. I used to be one, but I never showed up to the events. So fuck me, right? If you press the gold button here, it'll take you to the lobby. Let's just go ahead and show you what's out here. Starting from the left side here. If you go to here, you can give the guild some food here, and it will, essentially every time there's an event in game, like the Blackbeard event or the naval battle, there will be a banquet you want to use to level up your stats. The second one here with the flag is just your guild login. So if 10 people log in every day, you'll get gold out of it, and then 15 is also 10 gold, and then so on and so forth. If you're in a guild that does not get to 20 every day, find a new guild. The bank little logo right here is just the shop. We already talked about this. The puzzle here is for donating, so you can donate red shells, blue shells, fragments for characters, but obviously if you're not in a top guild, you will never get any of these fragments right here. and a lot of people have not been online, and if it's a new character, you're even less likely to get a character like this, so just a heads up on that. But there is a list here. If you're interested, it shows you who's donated what. So right here, and it shows you who's donated the most here, so you can donate up to 10 times, and yeah, 10 times a week. Right here is the Impel Down event. So once a week you can do this, and you can buy tokens for it too if you want. Not worth it, but I mean, if you're competing with another guild, it's worth it. But in short, here you just fight a character from Impel Down, and then get some decent rewards. A lot of purple books, so typically a 21 or something like that, books or something like that. Pretty good stuff, and the weekly rewards are here, so you get a frame, cash, some guild shop currency points, so on and so forth. So yeah, they even have like 51 out of 100, so if you're in the top 100, 51 to 100 guilds, you can get this little frame right here, but there's no way there's a server that has that many guilds playing right now. Change your character here. So you can pick any character you want to. You can use any shells you want to, hockey if you want. You can use any of these characters if you want to as your support, so on and so forth. And then there's the leaderboard right here, so you can see where your guild's at. So we're not going to lose. There's just no way. It shows you for individual players in your guild as well, and outside of your guild. But I'm at 2 million essentially, and top players at 8 million. So I'm a little bit behind, but he's also a higher level than me. Next is this right here. This is the naval event, which is happening in 12 hours. So you just fight with other guilds from your server, and then the week after that, you typically fight people from across different regions. The rewards here are really good. You get blue snails, you get a title, get a lot of fragments if you win. So make sure you do this, and then the gold beard tokens here for Blackbeard. Very, very important stuff. Next, right here is the regional server event, cross-server event. This is how you get Magnalon here. So if you want to get Magnalon, you have to be doing this event, and it only comes around once every 3 months. If you're in the top guild, you'll get the character pretty fast, about 3 of these sessions, so 3/4 of a year, and you'll have them. But yeah, if you're not in a good guild, it will take you forever to get these characters, unfortunately. But essentially, you're just doing battles with other guilds from your server and then from your regional server. So as you can see, last time we did it, server 109 won this guild. Then lastly here, there's 2 events, but it's only showing 1 right now. This is the Blackbeard event. Happens every week on a Saturday at 8:30 a.m. So 7:30 right now for us, actually. And then you can just change a couple other things. So, you have your settings here, your friends, a microphone if you want to talk in game, your chat, your emojis. If you want to press an emoji, you can press this right here to do an emote. It shows you who's online in your guild. And it shows you, you can pick any character you want here, and it'll pop up right here as who you're playing. This is a temporary event we talked about in the thing earlier, but if you just click on this here, you can do an event with your guild where you just explore the seas pretty much, and you do an event. Nothing too crazy here. You'll get some meat, you'll get some berries, that's about it. Just click on each thing individually to kind of see what it's about. There's nothing crazy here. You'll be fine just by clicking on buttons. So going back to here, this is a kind of a brief rundown of all the stuff I just talked about. So naval battle, your daily login, Impel Down, donating fragments, your shop, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. This is irrelevant. It's just kind of telling you where your upcoming events are at and all that. And this gives you just news and all that kind of stuff. Like this is, I'm pretty sure it's telling me that I got demoted because I haven't been playing the game so much. Now on the left, on the far bottom right side here, we have the last 3 and then we're done. Sorry this is taking so long, but I'm going as in-depth as I possibly can so everyone can understand everything. Next is the lobby. So we'll quickly go through this. Same concept as before. You can change your character here, all that kind of good stuff on the bottom right. It's the same thing as being inside your guild area. Starting from left to right, this is the way of the strong here. You get tokens you get 2 tokens every day, and you can buy up to 10 tokens. I always buy 3 a week, but you can go higher if you want to. But your goal is just to keep climbing this as high as you can. The red number up here on the top left is the bounty requirement, and I'm not getting it, but that doesn't mean you can't play it manually and try to beat it. Sometimes it's just hard. The stars don't matter, but you get rewards here. So red, yellow, purple, blue. It tells you the percentage of getting each one. I have not gotten a red from this yet. Sometimes you get yellow, and you're getting this fragment right here. So if you click on the top right up here, it literally takes you back to the Way of the Strong area. Here's your achievement area, your leaderboard. So I'm currently 10th on the server. My goal is to eventually get top 5, but I'm a good bit of ways. It's all bounty based, so if you don't have a high bounty, you're just gonna be further down the list. Then this is, if you have Super Captain, you get one of these free every week. But typically you want to buy, if you're chasing bounty, all that kind of stuff, if you're trying to get a high bounty, buy one of level 4, one of level 3, and one of level 2. And then you can pick right here, of course, what character you're using in Way of the Strong. So there's that. Garp is a beast. I always auto this, by the way. Next is your auto raids here. So you just press the raid button on the bottom right, and it'll take you into a raid, and you have a chance of getting red gear, gold gear, tokens, so on and so forth. Things to really note here is on the bottom right with the people, you can change what character is being played, and it's auto, by the way, so you don't have to actually play this. There's auto, there's a shop here, so when you get 2,800 tokens, you can get a piece of red gear here. It's random, RNG. Right here is this weapon here, so it takes you to the actual screen area in case you don't want to traverse screens and all that. Light bulb here, which kind of tells you what the bosses do. So these are the bosses that you'll fight. So Mihawk, Enel, Crocodile, Moria, so on and so forth. Lastly, at the top right is just telling you your pity. So pity is 181, and I'm at 118 right now. Most of the time you will be at 181. You will not get lucky, like 59, 54, 66. That usually never happens, and if it does, you're just really lucky, pretty much. Right here is your auto PvP here. So you have a 3v3 right here. In short, you can just pick them right here, or you can press the plus button to have it auto pick for you if you don't want to pick. But you want to try to get the highest bounty, so you want your highest level red characters, and you want to pick whatever's best here. And then, you can only pick one here. So, whatever you think is best, right? Isn't much here to really talk about, just auto PvP. And you'll see when you click on it, it's pretty boring. You just you skip it instantly. Next is the manual PvP. So it's actual more like manual PvE. You can do this 6 times a week, 2 times a day. But I usually do it as soon as you can. Literally, when you go into this, you have to manually play it. But there's a wheel on the top left where you can manually do it. So that's what I do. This is the only place in the game where you can get hockey, where you can get the hockey stuff to level that up. So it'll ask you sometimes, do you want to spend 100 gold on this to get extra rewards? In the past, it was not worth it, but I've been told it is worth it now. I still don't really buy into it, but if you want to level up hockey, then you need to spend the 100 gold to get the extra hockey tokens. Next is the sea exploration here. There's a lot of things I could talk about here, but in short, all you need to know is if you click on the map here, it'll show you all the zones you can go to. You just click on each one individually, and if there's anything to do, just kind of zoom out and look, but I've already done everything, and we can't go to that one yet. We can't go to the very bottom one just yet. If you click on the very far left where there's Buggy right here, kind of gives you a little flashback of things you've done and all that kind of stuff, and here's your missions that you've done. You can change your ship on some of them by pressing this button, and so I'm using Blackbeard's ship, but if I wanted to, I could use example, the little bike here, Kuzan's bike. I guess I can't on this level, but you can change it on the earlier levels. There is a shop for Sea Exploration. You will get everything in this if you just play the game and do everything 100% every area. So there's that. Here's your missions. So you do this every day. You just get some missions and you can turn these tokens in. You get like plus 10 every hour, essentially. Get your cooking stuff for Sanji and that kind of stuff. And it tells you what you need to go to the next level. So since I'm already done with everything, it's 500 to infinite, essentially. But it'll have a certain number you have to meet to go to the next level. Next is the Mirror World. I'm at the point in the game where you rarely get to do this anymore, but this is pretty much the most content in the game, essentially, that you really have for PvE. I wish there was more, but there is not, so it is what it is. But essentially, you have to meet the bounty criteria per level to even do this, but you can pick any character you want to, and you can just play and do waves of PvE content. It's pretty fun, like the first 20 levels, but after a while it gets repetitive, so I always try to play a different character every time, essentially. It goes up to, I believe, 110 or 120 right now. And then lastly is the CP9 event over here. You can do this 2 times a week for gear, but you can do it infinite times if you want to for no gear. Don't know why you'd want to. But there's 3 levels of difficulty: easy, medium, and hard. It tells you on the bottom right what the bounty recommendation is. So 75 million for the hardest, 42 million for the medium one, and then really just anyone can do the easy one. Keep note that if you do the hardest level, that it is a very difficult challenge. If you have a lot of lag issues and all that, then this might not be for you. But eventually you'll just out-level it and you won't have an issue anyways. But from this, you typically just get 2 pieces of gear. You either get a yellow gold piece or a red piece, and the red piece is more rare, of course, but the higher the level, so if you're on red instead of yellow, you have better odds of doing that. Better odds of getting it, sorry. And then lastly, the very, very last thing that we're talking about is the story mode. This is time-gated pretty hard, so to keep going into the story, you have to be certain levels. So right now we're up to Thriller Bark, or on 27, but like example in Skypiea, if I can get there, let's see if we can get there. So like around here, 19, 18, to even be able to do half of this stuff, you need to be like level 65, 70 and all that. And this will take you a while to get to do all this stuff, but you always want to do your story mode as soon as you can, because each level gives you 20 berries and, you know, you get your XP and all that kind of stuff. On the very top right, you can just pick what chapter, by the way. It starts off at 1, goes all the way down to 27 right here. But and then also, if you don't want to play, so like say you pick the main, if you're just playing the main story and you're playing the main character, you can do that, but you can also just pick any character you want to if you just want to do that. No issue. And yeah, that's about it. Sometimes explore the maps as well, like these areas. Sometimes there's a collectible hiding, or sometimes there's a fish you can catch or something like that. And there's collectibles. Most of your collectibles come from the story mode and just like finding them in the levels. So you can auto through everything, but you'll miss a lot of collectibles. So not really worth it to be skipping through it. So just a heads up if you care about collectibles. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to change your background right here, because I haven't showed y'all that yet. If you just double click or double tap, and you can press this button right here, you can pick between any of these right here. And keep in mind, this is in your profile settings, so I kind of mentioned this earlier. But pick anyone you want. If you feel like being feisty and showing everyone in the world, you know, that you have a foot fetish, pick Khalifa, right? And you'll definitely be getting the attention of a lot of people, right? If you just want something cool or whatever, I like Mihawk's a lot. His is pretty cool. He's looking at the Barati over there, about to go blow their brains out or whatever. Kuma's another really cool one. I like Kuma. And right now, because Yamato's had literally just came out, I've been rocking Yamato's. But that's pretty much about it. If y'all have any questions, feel free to let me know. I know this is an incredibly long video that no one will watch the entire full thing of, but I'm doing this just to, you know, help people figure stuff out and all that. And that's really about it. Thank you all for watching. If y'all enjoyed, you know what to do. And until the next time, peace.